Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video, and in this one we have some news to go over, of course. Unfortunately, a lot of it not going to be that great news. So first of all, DICE have implemented a new casual mode for the game, as they're calling it. This one has definitely been very divisive amongst the community. There are game-breaking bugs right now in Battlefield 6 that really need to be addressed by the team. Things need to be just disabled in the game if DICE can't fix them immediately, and cheaters have already begun to spring up in Battlefield 6's Battle Royale offering, aka REDSEC. As always, if you guys aren't already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with everything Battlefield 6. Thank you guys so much for the support, and let's begin with Casual Breakthrough. So this was posted by Battlefield Communications just yesterday, and they say, introducing Casual Breakthrough. We understand that sometimes you want to jump into Battlefield, but without the intensity of a full PvP lobby, to create a more relaxed way to play while still earning progression and completing challenges. We are introducing Casual Breakthrough, and this new mode is now live in the main menu under the multiplayer tab. Here's what you can expect from Casual Breakthrough. Smaller player teams, so 16 real players, 8 per team, with 32 bots, teammates and enemies, so 16 per team. You will get progression, so you'll earn career XP, weapon XP, and battle pass XP, and complete challenges. But there will be balanced XP, so full XP from real player actions, but reduced experience from bot actions. The initial maps available in this mode are Siege of Cairo and Empire State, and this is what Casual Breakthrough won't offer. So you won't get dog tags or accolades, and you won't get any career stat updates either. Let us know what you think of the new mode. We'll be monitoring your feedback to determine if further adjustments are needed in the future. We'll see you on the battlefield. So this has been extremely controversial. Some people like this, a lot of people absolutely hate it. They feel like it's splitting the player base, it's even casualizing the game more, and there's been a lot of talk about that recently, how casual of a game Battlefield is, and it is, and that's okay. And I think this is turning it into even more of a casual experience. But on the other hand, I can also see why there is a need for such a playlist like this, because DICE have taken away all the experience from Portal. They've taken away Initiation Breakthrough, which is basically what this is, only now instead of it being in the training section right down at the bottom of the playlist where it's not too visible, which is where I think it should actually be, it's kind of front and center right now. Like if you go to multiplayer, you will see Casual Breakthrough, a mode with and against bots, basically shouting out for you to click on it and join. I really don't think it should be there. But what I think this is a band-aid to a problem that already exists in the game that DICE need to address instead of basically sticking a plaster over it. So the long and short of it is, you are going to earn less experience in this mode than a regular game, and that is to discourage farming, right? That means you're only going to be getting full experience when you kill a real player. If you kill a bot, it's not going to be giving you that full experience. But I can also understand why people want an experience like this to grind assignments that they feel forced into getting the easiest way possible. But the root problem still exists, and that is, in my eyes at least, that the assignment system, it just sucks. Like, I prefer the old system, if you want to call it the old system, of you just level up your career, you level up your weapons, and you unlock the weapons, the gadgets, and the attachments by doing so, and that leaves you completely free to play the way you want. After all, isn't that what Battlefield is all about? You know, if somebody wants to play as a support character, you know, reviving people, healing people, maybe they don't get that many kills, that's fine. If you want to sit back and be a sniper, as a recon, you can do that. Maybe you're a vehicle main, maybe you're an assault main, like whatever way you want to play the game, you're free to do that in Battlefield, and it offers up this great sandbox experience. But now they're introducing these assignments that pigeonhole people into playing a certain way, using a certain weapon. And some of them are so ridiculous, like the one where you need to get 300 suppression assists with an LMG. Like, you're telling me I have to purposefully miss the enemy with an LMG in order to unlock certain things in the game. I believe that's to unlock one of the LMGs in the game as well. So it's not like it's just a camo and it's skippable. You actually have to do this. And so I do get it when people are made to play the game in ways that they don't want to. They're going to try and find the easiest, most painless way of doing so. And a lot of the time, it is doing it against bots. But again, it's not addressing the main issue. The main issue is that the assignments, they're just terrible. They need a full overhaul. I know DICE have said they are working on that, but it really cannot come soon enough. Now, in the meantime, I think they should just move it down to the training section. A lot of people have said, if you want to have a mode like this, why not make it an official mode? It gives you experience, it allows you to get progression towards your assignments and whatnot, but put it in Portal. Well, then we're going to end up with the same problem with Portal we did before, where instead of having 10,000 servers that say bot farm XP, now we're going to have 10,000 servers that say casual breakthrough, right? So I don't think that's a good solution either. And like I said earlier, this is essentially the same mode as Initiation Breakthrough, and when that mode was in the training section, nobody really seemed to have a problem with that, so I think they should just move it down there. But by all means, guys, chime in with your own thoughts down below. So from one controversial topic to another, some of you may realize that the blue Crayola skin, the Windex Man, whatever you want to call this skin here, it has been very quietly and silently removed from the game. So for those of you who don't know, Reddit and, well, pretty much everywhere, like it was all over X, people kicked up a massive fuss about this skin. And rightfully so, you know, they did promise us grounded and authentic skins for Battlefield 6. There wouldn't be anything silly. And whilst I don't think that this particular skin is that silly, really, the only thing that is maybe a little bit garish about it is the color. And we've seen other similar skins as well, like that weird neon green one. And for that one, in turn, I believe they've gone in and sort of toned down that green color. So it's not quite as neon in brightness as it was before. I understand why they did this silently, though. They probably didn't want to put out an official post on the communications account, because that would just open up the door for people to come in and say, you know, what were you thinking, DICE? It would start that whole negative feedback loop again. I hope they've learned something from this. Again, I didn't really have like a massive issue with this. It's not a skin I think looks good either. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to open up my wallet and pay for this skin. But apparently they have now learned that those sort of skins don't really sell too well in Battlefield 6. Alright, next up we actually have a bit of positive news here, and this one is about the assignment system. So for those of you who don't know, there is now a reroll system. You can reroll the daily missions and the weekly missions or the assignments, and they've made a small adjustment here so that now when you're rerolling a challenge, this change will prevent Battlefield 6 players from receiving a challenge that can only be completed in REDSEC. And then also, REDSEC players will continue to receive additional challenges that can be completed in REDSEC when re-rolling a challenge. So what that means is that if you've got the free-to-play version of the game, that is to say, you're only playing REDSEC and you've only got Gauntlet available and those modes, if you re-roll it, you will of course get one of the missions for those modes. But if you own the base game and you re-roll a BR mission, you will 100% of the time get a mission that can be done in the regular multiplayer mode. So that is one of the things I was calling for there. That's really good. That means you're not going to like waste re-rolls or have to do multiple re-rolls until you don't have to play the BR anymore. Now, you guys have probably noticed that right now there are a couple of game-breaking bugs in Battlefield 6. The first one is the recon drone bug, where you're able to get up to any rooftop or pretty much like anywhere in the map within reason through a bug, and that is allowing people to put spawn beacons down on rooftops that they shouldn't be on and then camp on there. This is particularly prevalent on maps like Manhattan Bridge. And then there's another bug with laser designators, which allows you to use the MR missile, but not just the MR missile on the IFV, also stuff like guided shells, javelins, pretty much anything that will lock onto a designated target, shoot a missile, and it will then go through the countermeasures. It will go through the flares of that helicopter or of that jet. It can also one-shot tanks by doing a top-down attack, and it's essentially breaking the game and making it so you're unable to fly. Prolosco has just done a really great video deep diving on why this is so bad for the game, so I'm going to link that down in the description, and I really recommend, if you're somebody who is kind of the opinion that this is an intended part of the game and it's not a bug, go and watch his video, and even if you don't fly, you'll realize just how it's breaking Battlefield. And if you take a look at this, here we have Eddie over on Twitter, and Eddie, he worked on all of Battlefield 2042's vehicles. I believe right now he's not directly involved on working on Battlefield 6, but he does have a line to the team there, so he does report bugs and stuff, and he is sort of, you know, on the inside. And he says this has already been addressed by the team. Quite unfortunate that it's not included in this fix. I'm not in the loops with specifics, but you should have the fix in your hands soon. We will see if more can be done until then. And Prolosco says, thank you, Eddie, for the fast response. One question, is it supposed to go always through the flares? If so, it should be like in Battlefield 3 that you could dodge it by flaring 2 to 3 seconds before impact. And Eddie says, nope, it's just an unintended behavior or bug where our air countermeasure does not see certain ground-to-ground missiles. And that also seems to be affecting air-to-air missiles, because if you remember, right after Season 1 released, they put the AA missiles back in the game for the fighter jets, and they were going through flares as well, and then they had to disable them. So my question is here, why aren't they disabling the things that are enabling these bugs? Why don't they just disable all of the laser designators? Or if they don't feel like they can do that, because there are, again, assignments in the game that require you to use laser designators, why don't they disable the MR missile, which is enabling the current gameplay of being able to sit in your spawn on Blackwell Fields, be defended by the AA, which by the way shoots down all incoming missiles and tank shells, and you can solo this. You can laser paint vehicles by yourself and then use the MR missiles on the IFVs to shoot them down.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, what?
It is just ridiculously broken. And what's actually funny is because I saw this pop up on my phone, and it was Battlefield Communications saying we are temporarily disabling, and I fully assumed it was going to be the sledgehammer, so we're not getting the recon bug drone anymore, or it was going to be the MR missiles, but no, they disabled the assault deploy beacon gadget in TDM, Squad Deathmatch, Domination, and King of the Hill due to an issue with the behavior of the item in these modes. The item will still be selectable as a gadget, but players will not be able to spawn on it. And I believe the reason they disabled this is because it was allowing you to clip through the map and get to unintended areas, which is exactly the same thing that is happening with the recon drone. So why don't they just vault or disable the sledgehammer? Like, are you telling me that people are going to miss the sledgehammer? I mean, like, really? Is it going to be that big of a deal? It's clearly taking them a lot longer to fix these bugs than they first thought, so just disable the things that are causing them for the time being, fix the bugs, and then re-enable them again. I really think that is the lesser of two evils. And finally here, speaking of evil, we've already seen cheaters popping up. So this is like somebody spectating in the Battle Royale in REDSEC. And as you can clearly see, this guy has aim hacks here. He's hitting every shot with every single weapon. And I think this is just able to show off cheaters more than it has before, because normally in Battlefield you're not spectating people, but with the addition of this Battle Royale and also the Gauntlet mode, now you can spectate your teammates. And it's sort of showing people cheating, which I guess in a way is kind of good, because then you can very easily report them and identify if they are cheating or not. But of course, overall, with, you know, Battlefield in part going free to play now, this is going to compound the problem of cheating. If you get your account banned, you just go and make yourself a new Steam account or a new EA account or whatever it is, boot up a new one, and you're good to go. But in DICE's defense, I will say that their Javelin system actually seems to be doing a good job of shutting down these various cheat companies. So a fan of mine who actually works in game anti-cheat sent me this here, and this is essentially from a forum where people who are looking for cheats hang out, and this guy is posting a list of cheats and whether or not they're safe to use. So if they say undetected, that means that the Javelin system at DICE has not detected these cheats at all. All of the ones that are in red have been detected, and they're basically saying, hey, don't use these cheats. And the ones that are in yellow, it means the developer lists the cheat as undetected, but you should use it at your own risk, because there are some users who have reported bans. So what that means is that all of these different cheat solutions here that are yellow or red, DICE have already detected those and begun banning players. There's only 3 of them at the moment that are green, so I'd say they're actually doing a pretty good job, and it's only a matter of time until they close in on those 3 and shut them down as well. But there you go, guys. That is going to do it for today's video. Let me know what you thought about Casual Breakthrough. Is this a mode that you would play? Is this something you're interested in? Or do you view it more as something that is diluting the player base and doesn't really have a home in Battlefield? Drop me your comments down below. As always, if you enjoyed today's video or found it informative, a like is always appreciated, as is subscribing to the channel. Have a good one, and I'll see you all in the next video.